The JuRY Daily Show, brought to you as always by people that pay us at payjurydaily.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy, Justin Robert Young, joining you as always on a Monday morning. It is September 10th. Remember, never forget tomorrow. We've got a lot to talk about, but most specifically, it is a mailbag Monday. We got so much mail over the weekend. We had a great response to stuff, and there's a couple stories that we can kind of go a little bit deeper into. So, just a reminder in general, you can always get in touch with the show, jurydaily@gmail.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, you don't really have to go anywhere else. Pop a little comment down below, and we will answer them every single day, Monday through Thursday. And by the way, I think we're about to add our first goal, our first drive to goal for the JuRY Daily Patreon, because I got an idea. I want to record a few episodes first, but I think we're going to set it at 1,000. Right now we're at 700 or so. But I got an idea. I got a little idea. But basically it would take us to 5 days a week. 5 days a week. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get into what we have to talk about today. And that is an email from Sean. Sean writes, I told my wife I was thinking about getting a watch. She told me that wooden watches were popular right now. So on Amazon.ca, and I would like for all of our listeners, right? If you want to do this, you want to play along at home. If you want to play along at home, then go ahead and type this in, all right? I search men's wristwatch in the men's wristwatch category for wood all right? So go to Amazon.ca, search for in the men's wristwatch category, search for wood He then adds, I included so the title would include the watch size in millimeters. This was the third result that Sean received on Amazon.ca. For audio listeners, I will describe to you a shoddily put together ebook listing. It is an ebook written by Happiest Ending. It is entitled First Time Jocks in the Woods Behind the Truck Stop. Alpha Male, Straight, STR number 8, to Gay, parenthetical, First Time Jocks in the ... Book 19. Well, this is the problem with the metric system. It was set up very specifically to coax all of our jocks, the pillars of masculinity. Johnny Football Hero leading his team down the field, darts, out routes, 9 routes, handoff, surveying the line, hut, see if the linebacker jumps, seducing all of our jocks into the woods behind the truck stop. So there you go. If you search Wood in Canada, apparently Happiest Endings is just killing it. Killing it right now. This SEO. It is $3.99 Canadian, by the way, or no dollars if you have Kindle Unlimited. I should really get a Amazon affiliate for First Time Jocks in the Woods Behind the Truck Stop, Alpha Male MM, Straight to Gay, First Time Jocks in the ... Book 19 by Happiest Ending. Thank you for sharing that, Sean. Oh, by the way, that was Sean with a W, because we have another Sean, Sean, the Irish spelling of Sean. He writes, I'm finishing up with a trip to Iceland. Based on my experience here and in Italy, Europeans love wet bathroom floors. What is with partial shower doors? They could really use the iPad holding curtain. Do any European viewers or listeners of the JuRY Daily Show have the iPad curtain? This is a very important question that I need all of our European listeners, and really if you're outside of the United States, specifically if you're outside of North America, if you can hit me back with whether or not you have purchased the iPad curtain, that is very important. We are doing very important research right now as to whether or not this has traversed the Atlantic or the Pacific. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that these are produced in China. If anyone's got the short arm shipping into China or any other parts of Asia, I would really, really, really appreciate whether or not this has happened. I don't know if offhand, nothing sticks out in any of my European travels that I remember having the short half shower stall. I think of it more as like this is an odd, like fancy hotel thing. Like in America, there's a lot of those newer hotels. So I would get this a lot when I was still with the Go Game, and we would be at these, like, the business would put together this conference and they would hire the Go Game. And as part of the hiring of the Go Game, we would get a room. So I would wind up staying in these fancy fucking hotels, ridiculously overpriced hotels, right? And there, new hotels, they would have the half stall thing, which I also never really got. It's like, I guess maybe they're like, hey, how much are you going to be splish-splashing around? But still, I prefer a curtain or a fully connecting stall. Because also, I need a dry floor because I am also a get-out-of-the-shower really wet person. I don't know. I don't dry off a lot in the shower. I step out of the shower and then I dry myself off, and therefore I create a very wet shower floor. This has not pissed off my wife, but did very much piss off an old roommate of mine for whom I shared a shower. She was not pleased with me. Oh, no. She fucking hated it. And she would make passive-aggressive comments about, like, whether or not I dried off at all. She assumed that I drip-dried, that I would shake myself comically like Beethoven in the titular film, Beethoven. That theoretically there'd be a disgusted Charles Grodin next to me. Or rather, David Duchovny in his cameo as a smarmy salesman or agent. I'm just realizing now that I remember more about the film Beethoven than I had initially suspected. Flying Pop-Tart Cat said, I saw this article and knew that it would immediately have a special significance to you. Please enjoy. The headline here is from The Sun. Art attack. Student accidentally left hardcore porno painting facing out of her bedroom window, leaving local families furious. Art student Lucy Briscoe Rimmer, 20, forgot to take the sordid painting down before going away for the weekend. A student who accidentally left a graphic porn painting in full view of her bedroom window has sparked fury among neighbors, Where the fuck is this? Do we even know where this is? The painting called Double Anal Penetration depicts a close-up view of a sex act in explicit detail. Art student Lucy claimed her boyfriend put the sordid artwork in the window to block sunlight from entering her room. But he then forgot to take it down before her trip to the Boomtown Festival in Winchester, Hants, last weekend. Her housemates were left to deal with the deluge of complaints from angry neighbors in Salford, General Manchester, including one who threatened to call the police. So we can't really see the unblurred version, but there's certainly what seems to be spread cheeks, and based on the pixelation, quite a lot going on. Lucy said, I put the painting up to block the sunlight, but my boyfriend opened up the window before we left, and we forgot to turn the picture back. We didn't even think about it. Housemate Morgan Fleur claims she was unaware the painting existed until getting furious complaints from other residents. Here is one of the angry notes. Could you please remove the poster from your front bedroom window? Although you may or may not be away, this is a family neighborhood, and you are facing two young families' homes with children's age 2, 3, 4, and 6. I myself also find the poster very offensive. After being alerted, Lucy's landlord entered the locked room and moved the painting out of sight. Number one, this is an amazing story. I don't quite know why this raises itself to the level of national or now international news. We are talking about it on a primarily American-based podcast and YouTube series, so this is now international news that this lady, it looks like, I gotta say, I far be it for me to claim myself to be an expert on photos or paintings of double anal penetration, but from an amateur's eye, it looks like a hell of a painting of double anal penetration. I mean, I feel like it's going to fetch a pretty penny. Somebody's going to want to buy this. There's a lot of art and detail to it. I would say to Lucy Briscoe Rimmer, age 20, hell of a set of dicks. And, I can't really see them or the butthole, but, seems like a real, like you put some art and craft to it. Good job by you. I assume that the reason why Flying Pop-Tart Cat sent this one along is because, for those of you who are new listeners or new viewers, this is a story I told on the weekly version of this show a while ago, probably a couple years. And maybe I could be coaxed to tell it again, but we don't really have time to do it right now. But indeed, I lost my virginity in college in a dorm with open windows in a building that had a kind of an L angle, and I was on the inside of the angle, meaning I had a tremendous audience to watch what I hope to be the shortest sexual experience I have in my life. I mean, look, it was a blink and you missed it performance. I'm not going to lie to you. This one was, it wasn't quite Vine, right? But it probably certainly would have been able to be curtailed to a Instagram video. But that is a story maybe we will tell going further. We did not get applause. I mean, that I remember. There was a lot of yelling, but not a lot of applause. I didn't know I'm not going to tell the whole story. Andrew writes, we'll stop talking about, this is me talking about Colin Kaepernick. And he didn't specifically ask for this to be read in the angry email voice that we do on PX3. But we will. I will do it in the angry email voice. Again, if you ever want to send me an angry email, you can request the angry email voice, and I will read it as such. We'll stop talking about Colin Kaepernick when the police stop shooting innocent black citizens. Until then, maybe suck it the fuck up and be glad somebody got this country talking about it for longer than 2 weeks. Thank you, Andrew. This is in response to my Facebook demerit system, which we are going to get into promptly. But I mentioned that I like to demerit my friends that I have respect for when they get into stupid arguments. Stupid, unsolvable, spinning your wheels, worthless arguments. And 2 of my friends wound up getting into not just a stupid Facebook spat about the new Colin Kaepernick ad. Now, what I'm assuming Andrew was too quickly penning and drafting his email to listen to was that my point was, if you want to talk about police brutality, if you want to talk about the fact that that there is a problem with cops killing people, more specifically African-American people, then I encourage you to talk about that. If you want to talk about what respecting the flag means, I would encourage you to talk about that. What I would not encourage is talking about Colin Kaepernick specifically, because Colin Kaepernick is not a two-way mirror and you can see through one and one is a mirror. It is a two-sided mirror in literally you are only talking about one of those 2 things while the other person talks about the other one of those things. That's my issue with the Colin Kaepernick thing. I would prefer that people talked about either one of those things, because I think those things are both worthwhile topics that deserve to be talked about. I think it's a cop-out, hole-in-the-sheet argument to say, oh no, I really want to talk about this because I'm talking about this guy. The point was made. Colin Kaepernick, and listen, there's other things that we can get into about the right for a company to blackball somebody. I think that he was unfairly blackballed from the NFL. But again, we can talk about that. There's a bunch of very specific things that we can talk about that don't involve this one issue that was crafted in a lab to just get people talking. Guess who loves talking about Colin Kaepernick the most? Facebook, because it means that people are going to yell about things right past each other, which means you'll never settle it, which means nobody will ever have their mind changed, which means these very important issues will never really be advanced. We'll just keep yelling our talking points over and over and over again. And television, because guess what? They got time to fill. We got to get to that next fucking Cash for Gold ad. Let's keep going on and on about this one thing that we'll never solve. Thank you for writing in, Andrew. Janice writes, I think the song The Glory of Love is written from the perspective of a bailiff who falls in love with a judge. I think Janice was writing in for high thoughts, but Janice didn't put high thoughts in the email, so we're reading it now. But he'll be the one that will fight for your honor. All right, here we go. Facebook demerits. I asked you guys what, when you are looking at Facebook, in your head, if you assess Facebook demerits to your friends and family for doing annoying things. Crunchy writes, I don't really want to see baby pictures, but I do understand people posting things that they love. However, when women post videos of their stomach moving from the fetus kicking, it freaks me out. It looks like some horror movie shiz. If it happens more than once, they are instantly unfriended. Also, the public breastfeeding argument. Although I'm sure my extreme lack of maternal instinct influenced this, the main reason all memes and articles about this always have a picture on it. One person is partially nude around a clothed person, and it gives me awful anxiety because it's such a vulnerable situation. All right, so that's Crunchies. That's her Facebook demerits. Jason wrote in, if you're liking every photo in a photo album, instead of just liking the entire album, one demerit for each photo in the album. Also, posting a comment on somebody else's post, which is either not at all related to the post or is more about you than the post, one demerit for the first offense, which compounds for each additional comment. I like that one. I don't know if I like the first one. The first one just might be over enthusiasm. That one, I think, like, look, it's an etiquette thing, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily the worst. Michael on YouTube writes, I support Colin Kaepernick in his protest, but yeah, I'm tired of all the chatter by the right. I do not follow the NFL anymore, and I don't check the scores. I'm waiting for them to revoke their requirement to stand. Okay, that wasn't exactly a demerit. It was just kind of a hot take. Thank you very much, Michael, though. Kate writes, if you care about X, here's one demerit. If you care about XYZ, like example, if you care about X, like and share. That one, I'm going to add editorially, should be an instant jail time. Instant jail time. Here's another one. Missing people that if you looked in the comments of the original post, you'd see that they'd already been found. Number 3, let's see how many of my friends will repost this. Another instant jail time. And then any images of Hillary or Obama in prison. Here's another one. Ben writes, self-checkouts are evil. That's 10 demerits. GMOs are evil. 15 demerits. Millennials, kids these days. 5 demerits. Vaccines are evil. 30 demerits. Anything from David Avocado Wolf. 50 demerits. I don't even know who that dude is. Healing gems are superfoods. Plus 70 demerits. Is this a blank anime meme? 100 demerits. Jesus, you are the fucking law and order sheriff of Facebook. These are heavy demerits. Or prove me wrong meme, 150 demerits. I think you need to ease up on the memes. Jesus. And finally, Matthew, pizza topping shaming is 1 demerit. It's annoying, but not worth blocking people. All right, folks. That about wraps it up for a Mailbag Monday. Again, hit us up with emails, jurydaily@gmail.com, jurydaily@gmail.com. I want to thank our producers. We are swelling in our ranks. The Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, Will, John H. Meyer, James, Bill, and Dustin. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @JustinRYoung. Follow us on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button. Ring the damn bell. YouTube.com/Justin Robert Young. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, this is your old pal, Justin Robert Young, wishing for you to please. Go. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.